Willie McCovey is one of the greatest of all time. His spirit and leadership were second to none. Number 44 simply played the game right. It's why the Willie Mac Award was created. It serves as a way to link a Hall of Fame giant with a current giant. Tonight, we find out who takes home the hardware. It's the Willie Mac Award ceremony, and it's next.
We are coming to you from AT&T Park on a Friday night as we get ready for Giants baseball. Rockies Giants game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Mike Krukow is down on the field. He's the master of ceremonies tonight for the Willie Mac Award ceremony. And it is a special night tonight because this is an award that's named after one of the greatest Giants of all time, of course, Willie McCovey. And we also get a chance to see some of the former winners, some guys that maybe our Giants fans haven't seen in quite a long time. So that'll be fun. It'll also obviously be fun to see who the players voted for, who the fans voted for as the most inspirational Giant this year. So let's move a little closer to the ceremony, and now let's go to Amy G. Amy?
Thanks so much, Dwayne. You're so right. In the stands tonight, there's always a little more electricity before the announcement of the Willie Mac Award winner. What's so fun about it, as you mentioned, people get a look at all the former Willie Mac Award winners, including your partner, Mike Krukow, a 2-time winner, and they're going to get in on the surprise. Nobody knows who it is. We're just moments away. Let's get it up now to Rennell Brooks Moon, the Giants PA announcer, to let us in on the secret. Rennell.
Fans, thank you for joining us tonight for the presentation of the 2015 Willie Mac Award. Please direct your attention to the video board now as we take a look back at the history of the award and hear from some past recipients.
He spoke very low, but if he spoke, you listened.
As I got to know him, he was exactly what I expected him to be. He wanted to go out and play the game at the highest level and play it the way it was meant to be played.
He was a great player, but other than that, he's a great person.
You know, he's one of the top people in the world as far as I'm concerned.
He's a very, very, very special man.
When it come time to do his damage, he did it.
The Willie Mac Award is actually a very honorable piece of hardware to get for any player.
It's a great feeling to be honored by your teammates.
I think one of the highest goals you could ever have is to be a good teammate, to be a good person, and that's what that award symbolizes.
You see all the fans and my teammate, my wife, my son, all the Willie Mac's award winners from the past, and Willie was there. It was something very special.
The award is outstanding. It's voted on, obviously, by your teammates. Which goes a long way. That means a lot.
It truly is a blessing and very humbling to get that award.
I'm honored to this day to have that trophy in my house.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the home plate area as 2-time Willie Mac Award winner Mike Krukow presents this year's Willie Mac Award. Kruk?
Thank you, Rennell. It is indeed an honor to be here tonight for this special ceremony. It's such an important part of this organization, and this year marks the 35th anniversary of the Willie Mac Awards, which recognizes its honoree for both his individual achievement, his embodiment of the competitive spirit, and his leadership abilities on and off the field. The Willie Mac Award is the only team award named after a former Giants player and is given each year to someone who best exemplifies the inspiration, character, and leadership that number 44 demonstrated during his playing days here in San Francisco. During his illustrious career, Willie McCovey hit 521 homers, which until Barry Bonds came along was the most ever hit by a left-handed hitter in the National League. He hit .320 with 45 home runs and 126 RBIs in 1969, and he won the National League MVP award. He holds the record for most home runs hit in the history of Candlestick Park with 231. And in 2004, to commemorate his great achievements, a statue in his likeness was unveiled to honor him. The Willie Mac Award is the most special award a Giant can receive because it's voted on by the Giants' teammates, coaches, and trainers, and all of you fans, and of course, Willie Mac himself. Now let's introduce some past winners that are here tonight. He was the very first Giant to earn the Willie Mac Award in 1980. He played 18 seasons in the major leagues, 10 with the Giants, and was a 4-time All-Star and 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner, Jack Clark. He was a 1981 winner and just the second Giant to be honored with the Willie Mac Award, outfielder Larry Herndon. This 1983 winner slugged over 414 career home runs, because I know I gave some up to him. A 21-year veteran of the big leagues, infielder Darrell Evans. This 1987 winner played 19 major league seasons and was a 3-time All-Star, shortstop Chris Spire. The 1989 winner inspired his teammates as he battled back to return to the mound that August after having a cancerous tumor removed from his pitching arm, Dave Dravecky. This 1991 winner was named to 2 All-Star teams and was the recipient of 1 Gold Glove Award and 1 Silver Slugger Award. Second baseman, Robbie Thompson. The 1992 winner and had one of his best big league seasons while in a Giants uniform, outfielder Mike Tiny Felder. The 1993 recipient played 13 seasons in the big leagues and won a Gold Glove with the Giants in 1993. Catcher, Kurt Manwaring. He won this award in his first season in a Giants uniform after logging a 3.82 ERA in 30 games. Pitcher Mark Leiter. The 1996 winner and is currently part of the Giants coaching staff, 2-time National League All-Star shortstop, Sean Dunston. This 2-time Willie Mac Award winner in 1997 and 2004 was a 6-time Gold Glove winner, first baseman, J.T. Snow. The 1999 winner played 9 seasons in the Giants uniform and hit the Giants' final home run in history of Candlestick Park, outfielder Marvin Bernard. The 2001 co-winner posted double-digit win totals in 4 of his 6 seasons with the Giants. He's currently the bullpen coach, Mark Gardner. He won the Willie Mac Award in 2007 and then again in 2008. Two-time Gold Glove winner, catcher Benji Molina. The 2009 winner, a three-time All-Star, and tossed the first perfect game in Giants history, pitcher Matt Cain. The 2010 winner set personal best that year in nearly every offensive category, outfielder Andres Torres. The 2011 winner posted a sub .300 ERA that season and was selected to his first ever All-Star team, pitcher Ryan Vogelsong. The 2012 winner won the National League MVP and Comeback Player of the Year that season while leading the Giants to another World Series championship, catcher Buster Posey. The 2013 Willie Mac Award winner played in all 162 games for the Giants, missing just 16 innings in the field. We've missed his presence in the lineup this season, outfielder Hunter Pence. The 2014 winner won the Willie Mac Award and then went on to post one of the most dominant postseason and World Series pitching performances in modern Major League Baseball history, being named the most valuable player of the 2014 World Series, pitcher Madison Bumgarner. And now, Hall of Famer Willie McCovey.
Thank you, crew. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the returning Willie Mac Award winners. Congratulate all of them. Especially good to see Jack Clark here. Haven't seen him in a long time. I also want to congratulate the team for coming this far. I think they had a great year. And although I don't get a vote, I think with all the injuries the team had, Boat should be Manager of the Year. But on this award, I do get a vote. And the winner this year of the Willie Mac Award, Matt Duffy.
In his first major league season, Matt has been one of the top rookies in the majors, hitting .298 with 28 doubles, 6 triples, 12 home runs, 76 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases, and that in 146 games. He made the team out of spring training. He was the 25th guy, utility infielder, and by May began getting regular starts at third base, a position he had played just 3 games at in 3 seasons in his professional career. Matt has grown into a position while demonstrating remarkable offensive consistency, batting over 300 in May, June, July, and August. Anchored in the 3 spot in the Giants lineup, he's led the National League in hits since the All-Star break. He enters tonight's game with the 3rd longest active games played streak at 115 games and has started the Giants' last 76 games at third base. He is the first Giants rookie to win the Willie Mac Award. This year's winner, Matt Duffy.
Thank you. It's a huge honor for me to win this award. It's a special award that goes back 35 years, and I couldn't be more honored to have my name now alongside several of the past winners here tonight. I'd like to thank a lot of people, the Giants organization, coaching staff, my teammates, my family, and all the coaches who taught me how to play the game the right way. It taught me if you put in the time and the preparation, good things will come. I especially want to thank Willie Mac and all the past winners for being here tonight. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the fans. You pack this place every night, and the energy you bring to the park is unbelievable. And as far as I know, unrivaled. This award means a lot to me, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
So Matt Duffy is your Willie Mac Award winner, appropriately so. He's having a fantastic season. All right, when we come back, we will have lineups and first pitch next.
to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Homestyle Ranch Chicken Club today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, back here at AT&T Park as we get ready for Giants and Rockies baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission through Boardwalk is open this weekend. 64 degrees here at the yard. See, the winds are a bit heavy. Humidity at 63%. It is a clear and it is a cool night. So Matt Duffy, he's your 2015 Willie Mac Award winner. Appropriately so, as he enjoys all the good things that come with that, and especially a hug from your dad. Time for a Togo's big play the Togo's way. It was Matt Duffy's first career home run. He hit it off of the Colorado Rockies' Boone Logan, and he did it on April 15th of this year. That's our Togo's big play the Togo's way. Matt Duffy's first big fly. All right, we're at AT&T Park. We're just about ready for Giants baseball. Umpires are out. I promise you we'll have the lineups when we come back. And let's take a look at the lineup that Chris Heston will be facing. It's a good lineup, these Rockies. It'll be Blackman Reyes, Carlos Gonzalez, and then Nolan Arenado, who's wore the Giants out this year. Look at the home runs. 9. Dickerson, Morneau, and then Garneau. That's not fair. Descalzo and Kyle Kendrick will pitch and hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the rookie right-hander, Chris Heston. We can't say that much longer as he's about to complete his first year at the big leagues. And all he's done in 30 starts is go 12-10 with a 3.62 ERA, 138 strikeouts and 63 walks and 174 innings. And when you take your at-bats against Heston, you're going to see a high 80s, low 90s sink. He will cut the fastball. He's got a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. When he's right, he'll throw a lot of ground balls. Lifetime against these Rockies in 4 starts, he's 1-3 with a 5.70 ERA. Let's take a look at the Giants defense playing behind Chris Heston. Starting in the outfield, it'll be Williamson, Pagan, and Parker. Good arms on the corner with Williamson and Parker. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Tomlinson and Posey on the right side. Trevor Brown, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Charlie Blackmon, who's going to step up. The Rockies lost 3 straight in Arizona. 4-3, 3-1, and 8-6. So here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's at the knees for a strike. So we get started at 7:26. Spanish audio for this game is available through your SAP button, and it's presented by Jack Daniels. So Blackmon hitting at 264. That's incorrect. Blackmon hitting 289, but right now he's a notch lower as he strikes out to open up the ball game.
Backdoor breaking ball coming around the outside corner. And it absolutely locks him up. Right into the glove. Trevor Brown frames it. Jerry Meals, plate umpire, says looks pretty good from here.
So here's Reyes at 276, and he swings at the first pitch and pops one into shallow center field, and Pagan will race it down. 2 outs. Behind the dish will be Jerry Meals, and it's Jordan Baker, Carlos Torres, and Andy Fletcher from first to third.
And Meals a good umpire. He's a real steady zone, pitcher friendly. You will get some corners. It's a good thing, though, to let him know you're going to throw strikes early. You do that, he'll start looking for him.
So here's Gonzalez having a really good season. 40 home runs, 96 driven in. Two balls and no strikes.
Gonzalez 27 home runs after the All-Star break. You talk about hot.
Here he lifts this one the other way. Is Williamson's coming in, still coming in, and he makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. So a 7-pitch inning for Heston. It'll be Pagan, Tomlinson, and Duffy. Duffy, good numbers against the Rockies this year. Followed by Posey, Crawford, and Parker. Mac Williamson will hit 7th, and it's Brown and Heston 8th and 9th.
Pitcher tonight for the Colorado Rockies is going to be the right-hander Kyle Kendrick. And Kendrick, this is what he has done in 26 starts this year. 6-13 with a 6.54 ERA. Been a rough year for him. 74 strikeouts and 44 walks. And 167 hits in 136 innings. And you're going to see a high 80s fastball. He will Sink and cut it. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Kendrick, 31 years old. He is in his 8th year at the big league level. 6'3", 210-pounder. Out of Houston, Texas.
So here's Pagan. Pagan hitting .264. And he looks at a pitch down low. 3 home runs, 37 driven in. Since Angel Pagan has come back off the disabled list the second time, he's played almost in every game. A little low, 2-0. The fog is rolling in. Love it.
The air conditioning system cooling things off.
There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Kendrick, lifetime against the Giants, 1-4 with a 6.10 ERA. They have been hard on him in 7 starts.
Tomlinson and then Duffy. Three and 1 on the pitch inside. Giants went 2-2 against the Dodgers. They're 46-32 at home this year. This has popped up into left field. A long run for Dickerson. Still coming in. And it's going to fall out of reach of 3 defenders.
How did Arenado not catch that?
He catches everything, doesn't he?
Let's take a look at that defense playing behind Kendrick tonight for the Rockies. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Dickerson, Blackman, and Gonzalez. The best arm in right field with Gonzalez, but Blackman has 9 assists, and that leads the team in center. Reyes, Arenado on the left side, Descalzo and Morneau on the right side, and Garneau will be in the squad putting down the signs.
So Pagan, who had gone all the way down to first, comes back. And now the 3-2 pitch. And he got him. So Pagan out of the strike zone.
That's, I'd say maybe a month old, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe less. That's a brand new one. Well, welcome to the ball yard. Don't get upset. It gets better.
Put it this way. You got more hair than Lee Hammer.
And Robbie Thompson.
Tomlinson with a swing and a miss. Yeah, Robbie shaved it, though.
Yeah, it's totally a style statement. He could have it all back tomorrow. He looked good, though. Good to see Robbie before the game.
Pitch is low and away to even the count at a ball and a strike. Duffy to follow in the 1-1. Hit into left center field, but Dickerson is there. 2 outs for Duffy.
Batting third baseman, number 5, Matt Duffy.
So your Willie Mac Award winner steps up.
I'm talking with Willie McCovey before the game about this year's recipient. He was really excited about Matt Duffy. First rookie in 35 years of the Willie Mac Award to win it.
And he looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. He's at 298. 12 home runs, 76 driven in. He's hit for the cycle against Kyle Kendrick. Buster Posey to follow. And that's bounced to third. Takes a bad hop, but Arenado stays with it and throws him out. So 5-3 on the putout. We've played 1. It's 0-0. Here it's 0-0 as we head to the second inning. And it'll be Nolan Arenado followed by Dickerson and then Justin Morneau. Heston threw 7 pitches in that first inning. Arenado's been wearing everybody out, but more so the Giants than anybody out. And here's the first pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
I can't remember him being off his back leg in a swing all year. I mean, he's just been locked in. A monster breakout year for him.
High and deep to left. It is gone. He's done it again. That's 10 against the Giants, and the Rockies lead 1-0. So I'm going to make a bold statement saying they still haven't figured him out.
No, they have not.
Either that or he's getting the best pitches in the world to hit.
Well, he got a good one to do some damage with on this one. And that now puts him on top of the National League in home runs. Wow.
That's 42 for Arenado. And here's Corey Dickerson. Dickerson at 8 home runs, 26 driven in. Spent a lot of time on a disabled list as he rolls this one to Tomlinson. 1 out.
And take a look at the location. Now, if you're a sinker baller, you're not going to get any sink up around the belt. I mean, this is just room service. And for a guy who's seeing baseballs as big as pumpkins right now, he is not going to miss it.
So basically what you're saying is you're not shocked that that ball went out.
No. No, and I don't think Heston is either.
So here's Justin Morneau. Morneau injured like Dickerson a lot during the season. He's got 3 home runs, 12 driven in. And there's that spot where you want to be if you're Heston. Down around the knees.
And that's where the ball gets heavy. That's where he gets his big sink, his big movement, his downward movement. Morneau does not look enthusiastic.
Well, I'm not sure that last pitch was a strike, but I don't think Heston's going to complain. 1-2.
If he's going to give you width away, you should just keep going out there. Like that.
Got him.
That's a rough at bat.
Here's our AT&T U-verse rewind. Yesterday, Tim Hudson, his final career game, which was a start, and he goes a little over 2 innings. His family out in the luxury suite. In all, it was a really nice day for Hudson and his family and for his teammates. Here's a pitch to Dustin Garneau, and he takes inside 1-0.
Well, it's applause that he earned. Just having a great career.
And that pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. This was the pitch that Morneau was unhappy with. Not that bad.
I mean, you know, the previous 2 pitches were the same zone right there. I mean, and they too were called strikes, so he's got to get out there and cover it up.
So what do you think Morneau thought it was? Low or outside?
Both.
Well, I don't think it was outside.
I'm thinking he thought it was low and outside. I don't think he thought any one of those 3 pitches were across the strike zone. And hey, it doesn't matter. The strike zone is what it is tonight. It changes. It's Jerry Meals' strike zone, and you got to adjust to it. Good sinkage right there. I mean, that's the thing. You know, you have a rule book strike zone. Nobody calls the rule book strike zone. Nobody has ever called the rule book strike zone. Strike zone changes daily. It's in the eyes of that guy right there, the plate umpire. Learn it, defend it. End of story.
And that'll do it. 3 strikeouts for Heston. Nolan Arenado gets the Rockies on the board. It's 1-0. Donald's true stories. It happened this September. And Buster Posey in Colorado hits his 100th career home run off of Johan Flande. There it is.
Yeah, I like the fact he goes opposite field to do that. And that's our McDonald's true stories.
So Buster stands in. And Kendrick to Buster Posey, and he cues this one off the end of the bat, and it's just going to kick foul. Right at the last second, it hit the lip of the grass. See the difference for Buster Posey with his numbers behind the plate and over at first base. And, you know, some people can make some out of that. I don't.
Yeah, he had a home run every 23 at bats at first base and every 35 as a catcher. OPS almost identical. On base percentage and slugging percentage. I mean, I think that's what you look at.
He's got a few less bruises when he goes to bed at night.
Yep.
1 ball and 1 strike. Probably feels a little better the next morning after playing first base. On the ground, it's at the second baseman, Descalzo. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Hey guys, it has been a homestand filled with very special moments. Yesterday's, of course, fans of baseball in general, Giants fans getting a chance to witness Tim Hudson's final start of his career. What did he think about it? It's our Geico quote. He said, "I was surprised how good I was able to hold it together there. Last couple of weeks have been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. I've had so much fun over the last 17 years, and today was a really special day for me. It was a special day for all of us." Dwayne?
Well, I think tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, I think they're all going to be really special for him. So here's Crawford, who swings and misses. Crawford at 255. He's got 20 home runs. He's got 81 runs batted in. And the pitch runs in tight. So you see Tim Hudson in all 3 uniforms that he wore. Won more games with the Braves than with any other organization. But what a great winning percentage in Oakland. There's that low strike, 1 and 2.
Well, and that's what you see on the stat sheet. What you don't see is really how he's going to be remembered. And as good as he was on the field, he was better in the clubhouse. Great teammate, a great leader. I mean, he mentored pitchers. He just did everything a great teammate's supposed to do. And a lot of what he learned these last 2 years, or a lot of what Madison Bumgarner has learned these last 2 years, hanging around Tim Hudson, is stuff that Bumgarner someday will pass on to a young pitcher. And that's how this game works. It gets passed on. And the presence of Hudson in the Giants clubhouse, invaluable in that regard.
And Crawford rolls it foul. And he'll be honored tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon before the game. Jeremy Afell will be honored Sunday before the game. One-two pitch. 2-2. Plus, I think Hudson knows what he's in for. I do. He's going to be driving a lot around town with the kids in the car. 3-2.
He said he's going to be the family Uber driver next year. So I think he knows what's in store. But that's exactly what he wants to do. He doesn't want to miss a game. He doesn't want to miss a recital. He doesn't want to miss anything.
Crawford stays alive, taps this one off his foot. On deck is Jarrett Parker. Nolan Arenado hit his 42nd home run in the top of this inning. Crawford trying to get on for Parker, and then Williamson, and then Brown. And he does get on. A line drive into center field, a base hit.
Nice at bat. Well, there's still time to get one of the Madison Bumgarner bobbleheads from the Junior Giant Stretch Drive for a $50 donation. Not only will you give a child a chance to play baseball for the season, but you'll get a commemorative Bumgarner bobblehead. Go to sfgiants.com/stretch drive.
Yeah. We need to get one of those. Here's Parker. Parker at 341, 6 home runs, 13 driven in. And a line drive into right field, a base hit. Crawford on the move, digging it out is Gonzalez. He kicks it around. They're going to wave in. Crawford, he's going to score. And the Giants tie it up as the Rockies kicked around the relay. Otherwise, Crawford may have been out.
But we're going to make it our Ford right choice. Jarrett Parker stepping up and launching a bullet down the right field line. This is where the Giants catch a bit of a break here. It's kind of kicked around, and Gonzalez overthrows the cutoff man. If he hits Descalzo, who has a very strong arm, I think they get Brandon Crawford by a bunch. As it is, we got a brand new ball game.
So here's Williamson. Williamson hitting .227. And he takes outside for a ball, 1-0. When I see Jarrett Parker, I see a lot of Darrell Evans, except if Darrell would have hit that ball, it would have been foul. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Trevor Brown. So a 2-out single, or make that a 1-out single and a 1-out double. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. This will be the 27th start for Kyle Kendrick. Parker, the ability to steal a bag. On the ground towards Descalzo. He will wrestle it down and throw him out. On to third goes Parker. And the hitter will be Trevor Brown. So Trevor Brown steps up. You see Brown hitting at .265. You say, well, what does that come down to? Well, he's 9 for 34. First pitch is low. Brown with 3 doubles, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's done a good job. He really has impressed everybody, especially with what he's done behind the plate. Swinging and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he did something that is very difficult to do as a young catcher, and that's win the confidence of a veteran staff. And they all like throwing to him, and that's saying a lot.
Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
You know, older pitchers can get a little fussy, a little temperamental as to how they want to work, the rhythm that they want to work, the way the game is called. And he has transitioned beautifully into that role.
Got him. All right. Giants tie it up. When we come back, Jack Clark's going to join us. Can't wait. Favorites, Jack Clark, who Mike and I both had the privilege of being teammates with in the 80s. And Jack, it's great to have you back here. And when we were told that you were coming back by Mario Alioto, I got to tell you, it was pretty exciting for us. So welcome.
I appreciate that, man. It's good to be back here. You guys do and have for years and years now done an outstanding job. So the fans here are very, very treated by you guys every night. You know, two former players that understand what's going on and are able to kind of send that message. It's pretty special for everybody.
Well, let's talk about you. Look, maybe a dumb question. First time you've been here, second to this park?
No, well, coaching with the Dodgers, I was here.
That's right. So
never took my jersey up. Anybody see that? My name. I was actually down there.
But you didn't really even want to do that. You did that because somebody forced you to do that.
I may have made a call here first, and I didn't get that gig, so I, took that one. So it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. A little bit of minor league. You learn a little bit about scouting and everything else that goes. And you learn a bit about the players that are pretty, kind of want what they want.
Oh, of course.
And you're not allowed to. We had moratoriums over there with the Dodgers for like 30 days before you could talk to anybody about anything. Well, so I carried the buckets of balls. I was really good at that, putting the ball on the tee. It was a really exciting time.
Here's Kyle Kendrick, who takes the pitch down low. What do you remember about the old Candlestick days? I mean, look, you were one of the more outspoken guys that said this place really stinks, and a lot of guys felt the same way. But the point is that's where we had to play, and you did put up some really great numbers there.
Yeah, I wish we would have been able to, finish some stuff there, and that's the whole thing. We just could never finish, and I think if we'd have got some help every once in a while when we did get close or something was going on, would have made a difference. Maybe bringing some, how they do nowadays, and they rent a player or something at the end.
Right.
We could have used some of that. We had some young guys could have used some experience, and I thank you, Kipe, because you. There was a lot of times I thought I had enough, man, but you kept my head above water, kept me thinking about having fun and hanging in there, man.
Well, fine. We did have fun. So some of the highlights as you watch Jack Clark, who wore that number 22 very proud, and Mike and I always laugh when we go into Pittsburgh. There's still a big sign out there that says Clark, and he used to wear the Pirates out, and we always thought, my goodness, they love Jack here so much. Look at they put up this big sign.
Well, I loved it there. I had a lot of family there, still do. So I used to leave 70 to 80 tickets, and I don't know, just coming from there and just history there, I felt like I had to, with the Clemente used to play out there, and I was playing out there. I just felt like when you played the Pirates, the lumber company, you pretty much better bring it to where they pretty much stepped on you like you're nothing and squashed you. You know?
Lumber and lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
Power and speed.
This is Charlie Blackmon. The pitcher Kendrick drew a 1-out walk, so that's why Heston is in his stretch. We're visiting with Jack Clark, who spent a lot of time.
Great seeing you, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. But Pagan is right there, and he's going to put it away. You get to see Murph.
I did see Murph. Yeah, it was good seeing Murph. Obviously, it's great seeing Stretch out there. Kirk, what do you think about that last? That sounded like Kite, the way he used to click that ball and drive it out there, man.
It had a different sound coming off his bat. Well, 18 Major League seasons, 340 home runs, a lot of great moments with the Giants, 163 home runs, and you were the first one to win the Willie Mac Award, 4-time All-Star. But what was one of your real fond memories walking into a Giants clubhouse for the first time as a rookie?
You know, my first time, that was really my first time. And when Sarge, Gary Matthews picked myself up, and Gary Alexander at the airport brought us to the ballpark. First time coming into Candlestick, just being in spring, batting practice, looking around, the scale of everything. You didn't think you're ever going to be there. Don't know if you're going to be able to stay there. You guys know that. The old saying is you get there, but can you stay there? And it's like you're thinking about all the great players. At the time, Bobby Mercer was out there, and we're going, I don't know, am I going to be able to play? And we're playing the Big Red Machine. And Joe Morgan walks, steals second, steals third, and then steals home on 3 pitches with Johnny Benchhead. And I wasn't sure I was in the right place or not. It was like, whoopsie daisy. Kite, where are you? What do you think?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, that was a special group. This is Jose Reyes, by the way, who's 0 for 1. He popped out, and he takes high and wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did you follow the Giants and what they did over the last 5 years?
Oh, absolutely. I've been pulling for you guys, and I've watched you guys beat up on the Cardinals and then beat up on you guys a little bit. It's been a great battle and going back and forth. Last 5 years you guys have won 3. The Cardinals have won a couple.
This is down the right field line. Parker's going to cut it off. So Reyes with a double. Kendrick, the pitcher, is at third. So now Gonzalez is going to hit with runners at second and third. I wish I could have seen you play 1 healthy year in Denver.
I know somebody was asking me that before, how would you like to hit in this ballpark? Well, yeah, but what about Denver and Arizona, Yeah, isn't that the truth, man?
I mean, look, these guys all have great numbers.
Those numbers aren't so inflated there. I don't know. I wouldn't have felt real good about it, to be honest with you, because, it's so different on the road to when these guys are at home, and I don't know.
There's a breaking ball for a called strike.
But Cincinnati's a bandbox. Philadelphia's a bandbox.
Sure.
There's some great places to hit.
Great place to hit, yeah. Yeah, it's much better now for sure, But still, this place, the Colorado, when you have the numbers and you're winning batting titles, and, it's kind of about the Willie Mac Award type thing. It's about your peers, how they look at you. And it's hard for your peers to think that, yeah, you're really tearing it up, man, because you're playing in Colorado, So.
You know what else they got, though, Jack, around the major leagues now is they got more guys that are throwing 97.
True.
I mean, That's have
true.
A lot of guys.
There's been, in the Cardinals, I live in Missouri, a lot of those guys, Rosenthal and Seacrest and those guys, young kids like Martinez, I mean, they're just bringing it. And they're bringing it from the first inning to the ninth.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't lose it. They don't lose it, And they're not real big guys. Like Martinez is not a big guy. I hurt his shoulder the other day, and obviously throwing the first pitch out to Benji, I was asking about his brother Yachty, and he says he's going to try to play, And Wainwright is gutting it up again, going to come back after that Achilles and be ready for the playoffs, So
Mike
should be fun to watch.
Mike Matheny did a great job this year with all those injuries.
Yeah, he did.
It's 1-1 to Carlos Gonzalez. And now Heston's going to throw to third.
Not a bad idea. Got a pitcher over there. You might catch him sleeping.
Yeah, I think Kendrick just looked back at Heston and was like, yo, dude, you don't know the rules? Pitchers don't try to pick pitchers off for crying out loud?
We do have a fraternity.
Why did you kind of peeked at him? He went, what's he doing?
Plus Stu Cole, the third base coach, blew out a lung trying to yell him back to the bag.
Here's the 1-1. Reyes goes, and Brown's not going to throw.
Gonzalez has come back from a real slow start and put together some pretty good numbers, you know. But I guess that has a lot to do with Colorado also.
Well,
he's a pretty legitimate hitter.
He has got some sock in that barrel. He absolutely does. You know, the thing about Denver is the little doinks you get because the outfielders have to play so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Cued. It's going to be a tough play, and I don't think anybody can make it. So Gonzalez with an infield hit.
Yeah, that's RBI number 97.
Does he want that? Is he actually going to take that?
Yeah. You know,
after all the stuff, the gifts he's getting in Colorado, he's still going to take that one on the road too.
Trust me.
You don't think Heston wants to ask him that very question? Serious business.
Plus, you'll probably point out, Jack, but the 47 line drives that have been caught over the last 2 months.
True, man.
So here's Arenado. Arenado homered in the second inning.
This guy's got 10 home runs against the Giants this year.
I like this guy, man. I like this guy. I think this guy would hit anywhere, even if he was out of Colorado.
I agree.
This guy can slug, man.
What do you like about his swing?
It seems like he trusts his hands, you know, and he believes in himself. Looks like he's up there. He's ready for fastballs. He knows he's going to get. When he does, he tries to be so ready for it and put a good swing on it. And shoot, that ball he hit out the ballpark, he probably felt like he just missed that a little bit, got the bottom side of it, you know. Hey, you remember, Coop? Remember that one I hit off you in the upper deck, and then you thought I stood there and admired it, and I thought it was going foul. And he thought I was admiring it, man.
Foul. Then went out left center.
Came back here, and then he buzzed one at my head, man. Look, I stood so far off the plate. But I like that about us old guys. You know, we went out there and competed, and you know it was give and take, and you took a half, and if you didn't give up the other half, it was well deserved, and it was out of respect for both parties. You know,
you didn't get the bottom half of that ball. You got every bit of that one.
To be honest with you, man, seriously, I don't know if I ever talked about it. I really just was watching it, and it's not going to stay fair. It's hooked and it's going foul. I think it actually hooked around a little bit at the top. I was surprised the umpire called it. You know, it's just like that hit that Gonzalez that give me, you'll take them. But, you know, I don't know if that was really legit or not. But they gave it to me.
This is hit out to right, and it's going to sail over Parker's head. So one run's going to score. Gonzalez is going to score, and it's a double off the bat of Arenado. So for a second, it looked like Parker had it under control.
Well, the ball sailed on him. I mean, he's thinking he's got a pretty good route to the ball when this thing comes off the bat. And then all of a sudden, it takes off. He didn't have a lot of time to get there. I don't think it made a difference what route he took.
Yeah. Nice piece of hitting. You know, you go deep, you figure he's not going to give you that pitch, and just probably taking a single up the middle, and guy's big and strong, feeling good, and then drove it out there. It's nice piece of hitting. He's having a good day.
130 RBIs.
He's having a good year. I said a good day. He's having a good year.
Yeah.
Great year, man.
So here's Dickerson. Dickerson takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, you taught hitting at the big league level, and that at-bat sequence, though, that's what it's all about.
Exactly, making adjustments. You know, I mean, they might even think about staying away from him. You know, I mean, got to make somebody else. And now neither one of these teams are in it right now, so they're just playing baseball. You know, but a little bit more serious situation. You don't know. Boach might change that up a little bit.
Pagan back. It's gone. It just never got out of the air, and it's a 2-run home run for Corey Dickerson, and now the Rockies are piling on here in the third.
And there's some carry in this ballpark tonight that you don't normally see from April through the end of August, but September you can get carry, and it's happened tonight. So Dave Righetti going to come out and try and calm things down here for Heston. It's our meeting on the mound brought to you by Ring Central, business communications made simple.
Rags, he's done a hell of a job over here, hasn't he?
16th year. He's the best in the business, I think. And you know that.
Is he the longest right now running?
He might be,
except for maybe Duncan when he was all those years with Tony La Russa.
He is the longest. But we've been trying to gather some momentum with the argument that in the Hall of Fame you've got managers, you got general managers, executives, you got players, and you don't have coaches, and coaches need to be recognized.
Yeah.
They even have a scouts division, and they have a broadcasters division.
Umpires.
umpires are in, but coaches have not been in. And this guy really.
Eddie Montague was down there with us tonight, you know, and telling some stories, doing some magic tricks. And he's a good umpire. Probably, you know, if there was that case, you know, he'd probably be considered for a Hall of Fame umpire.
So Dickerson hits one out of center field. That's his 9th. And it's 6-1. And Heston really doesn't know what hit him. As Yosmedo Petit is now headed down to the bullpen.
He was supposed to be the starter Sunday.
This is skied into center field. So this will come down to Pagan. And that's going to end the inning. Jack, thanks, man.
Okay.
And from all Giants fans, thank you for the great years.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay. See you guys.
John Miller will be back.
You buy Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Well, Giants sellout streak is over 400 games and counting. You can get on deck for your shot at 2016 tickets at $500 per seat, non-refundable deposit. Sales executives are standing by. 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com/season. So here's Heston, and we've had a bit of a major turn of events. Think about what an infield hit does to extend the inning. Think about that.
Well, you're right. I mean, he's cruising, 2 outs, and all of a sudden an infield hit to Carlos Gonzalez. The next thing you know, whoop, 5 spot on the board. From a 0 to a 5 spot.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Heston, and Heston rolls it slowly. It'll be Arenado who will take his time and throw him out. And that'll bring up Angel Pagan. Pagan struck out on a high fastball in the first inning. And here he takes a strike. I think it's one of those guys where I always like facing guys like this much more when he didn't have a big lead. You keep waiting for something to hit and you just don't get it. As Pagan rolls out, 2 down.
Well, we watched Kirk Reeder a lot in his career, and if he got a big lead, I mean, he was masterful. I mean, he threw underneath the hitting speed, the average hitting speed. If it was 91 miles per hour, the average fastball, he threw 84, 86. But it would just frustrate you with a mixture of off-speed stuff. And when you're trying to play catch-up, you just get frustrated. And Kendrick is underneath the normal fastball by about 4 or 5 miles per hour. He's doing the same thing.
So here's Tomlinson.
It's hard to be patient as an offense when you're down 5 runs.
Very hard. Tomlinson hit a fly ball to the left. Here he wraps one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Then that's the one thing you have to remind you. See, it's the 3rd inning. Down 5 runs. Giants lead the National League in batting average as a team, so it's well within their skill set to put up a couple of crooked numbers, get back in this game. It's great when your mom's a gamer, babe.
1-1 pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yep. Got a foul ball. Think she's proud of her son?
Yeah. Three and 1. Day baseball tomorrow. Day baseball on Sunday. Three 1 pitch. Out of play. 3-2.
That's great. Jack Clark comes in, sits down. Darrell Evans comes in between innings. And as soon as they walk in the room, the stories that come back to you, I mean, it's just a flash flood of memories.
And a base hit up the middle for Tomlinson.
And that's a nice at bat. 2 strikes, 2 outs. You put yourself on to get the heart of the lineup up there and face Kendrick out of the stretch. Let's take a look at our Expo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. And we always talk about the short little hand action that he has to get in position to throw the bat. It's the quickest bat on the team in regards to how quick he starts and stops through the contact point. I mean, he just has those almost like a play pepper swing.
And Duffy takes high, 1-0.
And guys like Tomlinson are tough to strike out. It's almost like he hits with a 2-strike adjustment swing the whole at bat.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buster Posey to follow.
They're ready.
They are ready.
It's Orange Friday.
They got the spirit.
Get the orange on. They're not going anywhere.
Duffy out of play, 1-2.
It's great being on the infield when we announced that the 2015 Willie Mac Award winner was Matt Duffy. To hear the applause from all around the stadium, it was a very, very popular choice and certainly deserving. First rookie to ever win that prestigious award.
Line drive foul. Almost clipped Jordan Baker.
Well, here's where when Matt Duffy was announced the Willie Mac Award winner. Great ovation, and to feel it there in the infield was pretty special.
One ball and 2 strikes. Tomlinson gets back. I see Benji Molina here. Cannot forget the years where he was the Giants cleanup hitter.
Yeah, good Giant. 2-time Willie Mac Award winner.
Lifted to right. And this will end the inning. 6-1 Rockies, and now John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th.
Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Well, fans, next time you want to let your fan out, well, go get StubHub. That's where you'll find seats you love whenever you want. StubHub, let your fan out. The official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the San Francisco Giants. It is 6-1 Rockies. We're at the top of the 4th inning here to tell you all about it. John Miller.
And 0-1 the count to Dustin Garneau, the rookie catcher. And it is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Garneau, who is hitting only 161, he's only had 62 at bats in the big leagues this year, struck out his first time. Matt Duffy, 1 away.
So, John, a 5 spot in the top of the 3rd inning, and it could have been a 0 if the swing and bunt could have been caught.
And it did seem as if Heston, for some reason, thought maybe Matt Duffy, hey, he won the Willie Mac Award. He's probably standing right there. So he hesitated coming off the bat. It would have been a long shot for him to make a play on him anyway, but so it went. And for that matter, so he makes a great pitch to the slugger. Gets him to hit a little weak ground ball for a hit. And I thought Reyes hit a ball that wasn't too bad either. It was a ball that might have been down below the strike zone for a single to right before that. But then he made a couple of pitches a little bit too fat to the next 2 guys.
Well, so it goes. And one thing about the Rockies, whether they're in Denver or on the road, they can put up a crooked number quickly, and they did that very thing in the top of the 3rd.
Every time the Giants face the Rockies have given them a lot of trouble this year. They walk away saying, how could this team be a losing record? How could they be in last place with the lineup they've got?
Well, Giants 7-9 against the Rockies this year, 2-4 against them here in San Francisco. So yes, they do ask that question.
Tomlinson back to his feet. Well done.
Smooth.
Descalso retired. Well, I was packing up over in the radio booth to move over here to the TV booth. And all the guys that you and Kite were interviewing over here were all in the radio booth. And so Kite was probably interviewing all those same guys again.
Well, I think he loves it. He can sit in a room and ask stories to Jack Clark and Darrell Evans forever. Good to see everybody. Good chance to see. There's Jack Clark talking it over with Dwayne Kuiper. Darrell Evans in the back.
You know, as good as Darrell Evans was, and you know, it wasn't like nobody knew about him.
414 home runs.
But in this era, where we have the advanced statistics, which they call the advanced statistics, where so much more now is made out of on-base percentage. I mean, Darrell Evans was a guy who did not usually hit for much of an average, but he hit a lot of home runs, and he usually got about 100 walks or so. Always had the high on-base percentage. And he could do a good job at third base. He could do a good job at first base. That's a foul ball by Kendrick. 3-2 the count. He walked, and that started that 5-run third inning rally.
Well, we played. I played with Darrell Evans in 1983. Kite played with him in 1982 and 1983, and then 1984 he goes over to Detroit, and they win the World Championship. And in Tiger Stadium, the short porch and right, Darrell Evans, a true pull hitter to the right side, left-handed hitter. I mean, he loved it there in Detroit, and he flourished there in Detroit.
It was like he was the perfect hitter for that ballpark. Still 3-2 to Kendrick. It was only, what, 320 feet to the right field foul pole, and then maybe 365 to the power alley. But the upper deck came out over the top of the right field warning track. It was 12 feet closer than the lower deck. That's a foul. So that was and he was on a team that hit a lot of home runs. Kirk Gibson, Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell. In fact, Larry Herndon was on those teams at that time too. Another former Giant who was here tonight.
Dave Bergman.
Well, Heston didn't handle it. And too late, and a save by Buster Posey. Could have been worse.
Well, this is when Darrell Evans was introduced in the ceremony that announced Matt Duffy, the Willie Mac Award winner. And every one of the older players that never played here in this ballpark, basically their career was at Candlestick, all say the same thing. Man, I wish I could have played here.
Well, especially Darrell Evans, because he looks at that right field corner, 309. So, man, I wish I could have played here. Charlie Blackmon has gone 0 for 2, and he takes a called strike. 2 down here in the fourth inning. 6-1. The Rockies lead the Giants. That ball is smoked. It is, and there's that crazy bounce right off the corner of the archway. Kendrick, he's a pitcher, and he was not moving that quickly. Almost any other runner would have scored on that play because of that crazy carom.
And once again, Yusmeiro Petit heads down to the Giants bullpen. Tell you what, that was one heck of a throw from Kelby Thomason going out there retrieving that carom off the bricks. Jared Parker doesn't have a lot of experience, and you see it hits off the cement border right around the archway, and it kicks hard past Parker. And it was Thomason who goes well out into right field and gets the ball. And Stu Cole, the third base coach, waited a long time, and he finally decided not to send Kendrick, the pitcher, not a very fast runner. But had he have sent him, he'd have been out by 40 feet. That's how good the throw was from Tomlinson. So once again, Dave Righetti out. Stall. Give Petit a little chance to get loose. Don't want to get down any farther than a 5-run deficit where they're at right now with this Rockies team.
So Petit heating up. Heston has allowed 6 runs and 7 hits so far in 3 2/3 innings. with Jose Reyes coming up right here and runners at second and third. Foul ball toward the Giants dugout. 0-1 the count. Jack Clark, I broadcast the game where Jack Clark won the National League pennant for the Cardinals at Dodger Stadium with a 3-run homer against Tom Niedenfuer, with the whole world saying that Tommy Lasorda, Tommy, how come he didn't walk him? That ball is fair. Just a little flare off the bat of Jose Reyes, and somehow it fell fair. A little magic wand-do action there, and 2 more runs scored to make it 8-1 Colorado.
Wow, you have a chance for a quick inning, a little comebacker kicks off your glove. You can't make the play. The pitcher gets on base, and now with second, third, you get a doink like this, and that is as magic a wand-do hit as there is. Well, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. 8-1 Rockies, and we'll be back.
Napa Valley, October 12th through 18th. Get your tickets now to see Rory McIlroy and many more. Get your tickets at FriesOpenGolf.com.
It is 8-1 Rockies leading the Giants here in the 4th inning, as Yusmeiro Petit comes in for the Giants bullpen. The Giants have not announced a starter for Sunday's game, announcing simply that it won't be Madison Bumgarner. But we were kind of guessing maybe it would be Yusmeiro Petit.
See the numbers for Petit.
Carlos Gonzalez skies one. Let's see. It is Posey. So just like that, the inning is over. But not before the Rockies get 2 more runs. Buster Posey will be coming up. timeless moment. October the 2nd, 1993. The Giants and the Dodgers in L.A. The Giants won the game 5-3. Rod Beck recorded his 48th save of the season. That's still a San Francisco record. It was the 103rd win of the year for the Giants, tied for the third most in club history. The shooter, Will Clark, got the put out.
Oh, I love that clip.
It's very upsetting for Tommy Lasorda. Bummer.
Yeah, hang with him.
By the way, the Dodgers are leading 6-0 in the last of the fifth over San Diego tonight. The Mets got rained out in New York. Now they're scheduled to play a doubleheader against Washington tomorrow at Citi Field. That's weather permitting. Supposed to be a lot of rain in New York tomorrow. Strike one to Buster Posey from Kyle Kendrick. Buster hit a ground ball to second his first time. Jose Reyes. And there's one away. Buster 0 for 2. Let's go down to Amy G.
All right, John. Yesterday, an emotional day. Jeremy Affeldt announcing his retirement. He held a press conference and said a lot of great things about his teammates. What did his teammates have to say about him? Javier Lopez said he loved his ability to keep things level, especially in the torture type of baseball this team likes to play. And Matt Cain said he liked how Jeremy Affeldt was able to show his emotions. He said that he taught him you don't have to be hard to be a good baseball player or a good man. Gentlemen.
Very well said, Amy. And I think he was very much appreciated by his teammates. And he was a guy that they all sort of universally made him the butt of jokes and whatnot. And he'd come right back at him. But always a lot of fun. And he was as good as he was, even better in October.
He was, you're right. I mean, he was 2 levels above normal in October. You talk about stone cold. He had nerves of steel.
Well, he was the Game 7 winner last year, so his last postseason game, we can say that now, that he's announced his retirement. He was the winning pitcher in Game 7 of that World Series against his old team, the team with which he came up, Kansas City. And Kansas City was not a happy place for him. This is where he broke into Major League Baseball. The ball is hit well, but room out there for Blackman, and Brandon Crawford is out number 2. In the World Series. And this was the play of the series. Panic to Crawford to Belt. And it ended up being a double play. He went 2 1/3 innings, got the win. Another double play there. And that was a signature for Affeldt, who it was the only reliever year after year who in years where he would pitch a full season without any injury problems, he would end up high on the list for inducing double play grounders. And everybody else on the list would have been starting pitchers. He would be the only reliever to show up high on that list every year.
Well, he was unique in his stuff because he was a left-hander that would throw sink at you, low to mid-90s, and then a big hard curveball. And then later on he came up with a split. But I mean, you just didn't see stuff like that from guys. And a lot of sinker ballers, they're not left-handed. He was. Come into an existing inning, get that ground ball, get you out of a jam. But then, you know, it's always going to get back to the conversation of what he did in postseason, which is really the part of his career that set him apart from the rest of the herd. Just remarkable consistency when the lights were the brightest. And that's what impresses all the people that ever played this game, is what he did as a postseason pitcher.
2-1 now to Jarrett Parker, who ripped a double down the right field line to knock in the Giants' run back in the second inning. Well, truly, his last 22 postseason appearances, going back into that 2010 postseason. without allowing a run in any of them. 22 straight postseason games, no runs. That'll go out of play, 2-2. And he came in, and that was the plan. He was going to be the bridge to Madison Bumgarner in Game 7. This is the list of players who were Giants for all 3 of those World Series championships. And there are relievers in there: Affeldt, Casilla, Javier Lopez, Sergio Romo. And those 4 relievers, and they all were better in the postseason than the regular season. They all came up big time. That is strike 3 called to Parker. And the Giants are going in order. We head to the 5th inning. Nolan Arenado is coming up, 8-1.
Is brought to you by Pete's Cold Brew. Keep it smooth.
From AT&T Park, we go to the 5th inning. The Rockies have an 8-1 lead over the Giants. All 8 of those runs charged to starting pitcher Chris Heston. He gave up 2 home runs, including a shot in the 2nd by this man, Nolan Arenado. And Petit throws him a called strike. Arenado followed up that solo homer to left center in the 2nd with a 2-run double to right center in the 3rd. So Arenado, who leads the majors with 130 runs batted in, including 3 so far tonight. He was trying to launch that one, 1-2. Arenado now has 10 home runs against the Giants this year. Only Dale Murphy back in 1983, when he was the best player in the game.
I helped him get that record.
He hit 11 against the Giants that year. The Braves were in the same division with the Giants in those days. Arenado down on strikes.
Well, this was the 2nd inning home run. And look at the location. They set an outside target. This thing goes right over the middle of the plate at the belt. And for a guy who's been as hot against the Giants as Arenado has been, he's just not going to make that type of a location mistake go by. He's going to hit it.
Nolan Arenado with 6 home runs here this year.
I mean, it almost puts him in the tie of the team lead.
Duffy, Crawford was 7 at the top of that list. And then Arenado's just 1 behind him.
I had to digest what that graphic meant. How often do you see that where a guy who's a road player, visiting player, coming in and leads your team in home runs in your home ballpark?
Giants have hit 50 home runs in their home ballpark this year. and allowed 54. Giants have hit 83 home runs on the road. Hit 50 here and 83 on the road by the same team. Back to the screen, a big rip there by Dickerson, who homered his last time. Giants have allowed 99 home runs on the road versus 54 here. Corey Dickerson last year was a breakout year for him. He had 24 home runs, and he's missed most of this year with injury. Still has 9 home runs. Only 212 at bats. 1 out, nobody on. That's right along the third base line. Mac Williamson gets to it. Got a strong arm. It's a double for Dickerson, who runs well.
I think it really hurt the Rockies when they lost Dickerson this year to injury and Justin Morneau. I mean, they are a rough lineup. And they're a rough lineup here at AT&T. I mean, you can imagine what it's like to pitch against this team in Denver. I mean, the Rockies aren't going to have any problems scoring runs, even when they have some of their big boppers on the DL.
Here is Morneau, former American League Most Valuable Player when he was with the Minnesota Twins. 1 ball and no strikes. Houston Astros are beating up on Arizona tonight on the out-of-town scoreboard. It is 10-2 Houston in the last of the 6th inning. The Astros, who came into the game tonight with a 1-game advantage over both the Angels and the Twins for the final wild card spot, the second wild card spot. The Angels won their game in Texas 2-1 over the Rangers. The count goes to 2-1 to Morneau. But the Twins were beaten by Kansas City 3-1 in Minnesota. It looks like Houston may. I'm going to predict that they're going to win that game tonight, that they lead 10-2 in the 6th. I just have a feeling, Mike.
Well, I don't. I would bet that. If I bet.
In the first 6 innings, Springer's hit a home run, Correa, Rasmus, and Valbuena. 4 home runs in the first 6 innings of that game for Houston in the desert tonight.
There's a lot at stake in that game for Houston.
And if they can win it, they'll also gain ground on Texas. But the Rangers are pretty much, they began the weekend with a 3-game lead over Houston for the first wild card spot. And Houston would pull to within 2 games with 2 games to play. The second wild card team, and Houston is leading for that right now as Morneau gets a walk, putting 2 men on with 1 man out. And the rookie catcher Garneau will come up.
There's the garden out there behind the wall in center field. It's a hit. Great meeting place. Go out there and pick a little rosemary.
Here is Garneau, who was struck out and grounded out to third. 1 out, 2 men on. New York Yankees would host that almost surely. I don't think it's official yet. They haven't actually out and out clinched it, but the Yankees almost surely will host the American League wild card playoff on Tuesday at Yankee Stadium. The National League wild card playoff will be Wednesday. And that'll be almost surely in Pittsburgh. Pirates won tonight in extra innings over Houston. Starling Marte hit a home run to win that game in a walk-off. The Cubs also won their game. 6 more shutout innings for Jake Arrieta in his final tune-up. He'll be pitching that game. Arrieta has an historic 0.75 earned run average in 15 starts since the All-Star break. check swing. Petit over to Buster. And that is out number 2. So Garneau accidentally hit the little bouncer to the pitcher, and the runners advance. Dickerson to third, Morneau to second.
Talking about Jake Arrieta today with Hunter Pence. And Hunter Pence said that what he's throwing right now is some of the nastiest stuff he's ever seen.
Wow.
He said, I got a hit off him, and I really don't know how I did it. He said he has a pitch where he has a little crossover step and comes at you with sink that starts off in the outside corner if you're hitting off him from the right side. Arrieta's a right-handed pitcher. And it comes back in. He goes, I've never seen that kind of movement on a pitch. And the numbers will back up that statement, because a lot of other guys aren't doing much with it either.
He pitched a no-hitter at Dodger Stadium a few weeks ago. And he had a no-hitter going in the start before last until the late innings.
Well, that's the two-seamer, the sinker, and he's thrown it at 94, 96 miles per hour. And then he's got a hard slider that is as impressive as the sinker. So just on those 2 pitches alone, he's enough to frustrate you. And he's got other pitches as well. So I asked him, I said, who would you rather face? Garrett Cole, who's likely to face Jake Arrieta next Wednesday in the National League wildcard game. Would you rather face Cole or Arrieta? He said, I'd rather face Cole. He says, and Cole's got nasty stuff, but what Arrieta's throwing right now is, I can't explain it.
Well, that's a great tribute to Arrieta, because he'd rather face Cole than Arrieta, and nobody wants to face Cole.
Nobody. I mean, he's quality. It just gives you an idea of where Arrieta is right now.
And that'll be the matchup, almost surely. The Cubs have already said Arrieta will be the guy. Why wouldn't he be? Or if they haven't said it, they should. They might as well have said it. I think there was a question. Well, maybe they would go with John Lester. But one game, winner take all. How could you not go with Arrieta?
Yeah.
Nobody's been better. 2-2 the count to Descalso with the pitcher. Kendrick on deck. That one gets away from Brown, and the run will score. 9-1 Colorado. Morneau over to third.
Yeah, those are frustrating for a catcher. I mean, that's a slider that goes down the dirt. And the reason I say it frustrates a catcher is because breaking balls are predictable. Curveballs, sliders, you know which way they're going to bounce. And when you get one of those in the dirt, you feel like you should block it every time. The only thing that gets weird is when it hits the plate, then it skims on you, and that's exactly what this does. And then when it does that, all bets are off.
Three and two to Descalso, who's grounded out to second twice. A high, shallow fly ball to center. Pagan to retire the side. Another run, 9-1 Colorado. Mac Williamson coming up for the Giants.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
It is 10, let's see. Oh, no, not that bad. Only 9-1 Colorado as we go to the last of the 5th inning. And the Giants coming up with Mac Williamson, Trevor Brown, and then the pitcher's spot against Kyle Kendrick. Final weekend of the season. And things started getting out of hand in the 3rd inning. And it really accelerated when Carlos Gonzalez hit a little slow dribbler. Heston executed a great pitch. And Cargo, the big slugger, the 40 home run man, could hardly have hit it worse, and yet he beat it out for a hit. And the next guy, Arenado, hit a 2-run double. The next guy, Dickerson, hit a 2-run homer. That ball is hit out to the big part of the yard, out to Death Valley. Still going. One hops the pillar between the 7th and 8th archways. Williamson, a fast runner, has a stand-up triple.
Hard to believe that ball is not a home run. And you have to get used to it if you're going to be a power hitter in this ballpark. There's just some balls that you hit that would be home runs in another ballpark, and you're just going to have to leg out a triple or a double. And this is one of those times. Right at the base of the wall. And the thing about Williamson is that he is a 5-tool guy. And when he gets a chance to run, I mean, he can go. And he is 6'4", 240 pounds. He's a big fella. Absolute physical specimen. Great arm, great speed, and great power.
He hit that one to the deepest part of the yard. His first major league extra base hit. Trevor Brown now. Right on the outside edge for a called strike. Well, we know that he's got bat speed. His first major league hit last week in Oakland on the StatCast read out at what, 111 miles an hour. Or whatever it was, 113 miles an hour, something ridiculous like that for a single.
I think it was in the teens. We were marveling at how loud the noise was.
It was I just looked it up, 113 miles an hour.
Yeah, the teens.
0-2 the count. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he must have hit this one tonight pretty hard to get it to go out there between the 7th and 8th archways. Down and away. .105 miles an hour, and the ball went 402 feet out into deep right center.
Well, that's opposite gap too. It's hard to really get a high velocity speed when you're hitting it the opposite way. And he got the bottom half of the ball and had major backspin on it, which is why he got the carry.
So to that part of a ballpark, I don't think there is a place in any ballpark where you hit it 402 feet, it doesn't go out.
Yeah, I agree. This is it.
And that is strike 3 called.
Kendrick is not going to give in to you. That's a 3-2 slider. Second strikeout. Well, Sharks taking on the Ducks. That's right, home opener for NHL hockey, Saturday, October 10th. 7:30 game, pregame live at 7 p.m. You'll see it on CSN California. The home of the authentic Sharks fan is CSN California. And we want to wish the San Jose Sharks all good luck, good health for this 2015-2016 season.
One out, runner at third. Alejandro De Asa, the pinch hitter for Petit. In the Giants bullpen. The right-hander warming up is Cody Hall. Now the rookie. The Giants have 6 rookies in their starting lineup tonight. Or did. That included Chris Heston, the starting pitcher, who's no longer in. Back out of play. Strike 2.
got a souvenir.
Just a ground ball to one of the middle infielders would get a run home here for De Asa, who's hit .246 as a Giant in 57 previous at-bats. Mac Williamson started the inning with a triple. Now time is taken.
Well, Dustin Garneau going to come out and say, look, I called curveball away, curveball in, slider away, slider in, fastball away, fastball in, changeup. You don't have any more pitches. At some point, a catcher just says, just throw it.
And I think that's what he's saying. Two-seamer coming back a little bit high.
Tried the front door. I mean, that was the great story about Juan Marichal and Jack Hyatt. One of the great storytellers in the game, a fantastic catcher with the Giants, was catching Marichal one day in Wrigley Field. And Marichal used to really have kind of a thing if he thought people were stealing his signs or giving location, and he thought the Cubs were doing it. And it was really frustrating him in front of Jack Hyatt. Knew that he was getting frustrated and ticked off with it. And he went out there, and Juan said to him, you just put your glove up and I'll hit it. We don't need signs. And that was it. They didn't get another hit. They won the game 2-1. And he never put down another sign.
3-2 now to De Asa.
Now, Juan Marichal had remarkable command of all of his pitches. But for a catcher to be able to trust a pitcher, not knowing, and Marichal threw hard.
So not knowing if it was a fastball or a breaking ball, or
just put your glove up and I'll hit it with something.
Changed up on him at 3-2. Got a piece of it. Juan Marichal, it was not unusual for him to throw more than 300 innings in a season and walk 40 or less. Marichal had remarkable control. And he gets the walk.
It's nice at bat. And the other thing too, Marichal did, if you talk to Hyatt and Tom Haller, would talk about him all the time, and Dick Dietz, the three guys that caught Marichal, they all said that he did something better than anybody. He pitched to contact. He basically could determine how hard you would hit the ball because he would take your balance out. He'd take your power out of your bat. You put the ball in play where you wouldn't hit it very hard.
Number 27, the Hall of Famer, Juan Marichal, one of the all-time greats and true artist on the mound. Pagan in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. Pagan has struck out and grounded out to first. Giants have runners at the corners. Williamson, who hit a triple at third. De Asa, who walked at first. Morneau on the bag with him. And it's off the inside. Checked his swing in time. Took his whole body to keep him from swinging at that one. 2-0. There's one at second. Reyes back to first. It is a double play, and the Giants do not score in spite of the leadoff triple by Williamson. the Rockies tomorrow, a 1:05 start. Get here early as we honor Tim Hudson's amazing career in a pregame ceremony. And then Sunday, October the 4th, Fan Appreciation Day, a 12:05 start. Don't forget that. It's an early start to begin with. And in the pregame, we'll pay tribute to Jeremy Affeldt. Be sure to be in your seats Sunday by 11:30 in the morning for all of the festivities on Fan Appreciation Day. Tickets available for both of those games at sfgiants.com/tickets.
Well, when it's time for a change, the Expedia Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Cody Hall, the new pitcher now for the Giants, 6th time that he has come in. You'll see low to mid-90s with the fastball and a good split. Also has a little nickel slider, 3 pitches.
Giants have a completely reworked outfield as well. Hall on a relief of Petit as we start the 6th. Alejandro De Asa, who pinch hit for Petit, stays in to play left field, and Jarrett Parker has moved from right field into center field, and Mac Williamson is now in right field. He had been the left fielder. So it's De Asa in left, Parker in center, Williamson in right. Kendrick, the Giants have not retired him in this game. Been on base twice and has scored both times. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is probably Kyle Kendrick's best game of the year. He came in with a 6.54 earned run average.
Yeah, the Giants were 4-1 in a lifetime against him, and his ERA against the Giants was in the 6s lifetime. So the Giants have been hard on him. It has not been the case tonight. He's been good through 5 solid innings.
Kendrick, not a bad hitter for a pitcher. Came into the game hitting 171 with a home run. And he has a walk and a run scored, and an infield single and a run scored in this game. Out of play. Still 2-2. The former Philly, Kyle Kendrick. Nine runs, 9 hits for the Rockies, 1 run, 4 hits for the Giants. And he struck him out. Amy G is here with us. Amy?
All right, gentlemen. Well, the Giants season ends on Sunday, but not for Kelby Tomlinson. He is going to continue playing in either instructional league or fall ball. The Giants want to get a look at Kelby in the outfield. They want to test out that speed and see if they can make him a more diverse player. I talked to Kelby about it. He said he's really excited the Giants want to find a spot for him to play. He said he needs the experience in the outfield, gentlemen, because he said the only experience he has right now is shagging, but he's excited at the opportunity. John?
Well, it's very interesting, and I think it says a lot about him because he's a guy, because he's hit so well for the Giants. If he could play, we know he can play shortstop because that had been much more his position in second base, and he's become very much more than adequate at second base after he looked real raw when he first came up in that position. If he could play all around the outfield, this is a guy who's going to play a lot in the big leagues with the bat that he's shown.
Well, you're right. I mean, the bat is really what has got him all the notice. But they also like his coachability. When he came up here, and we first saw him at second base, and he was not comfortable, they got him to the comfort level very quickly. Ron Modus has done an exceptional job with him, getting him to be a little more creative around the bag, taking that pivot on double plays. And he's a good little second baseman now. So you know he knows shortstop. He was signed as a shortstop. So now if you're going to be a super utility guy, you learn the corner infield positions, which are not as difficult as the middle infield. And then you learn an outfield position. But they think his athleticism is such that he can play center field. And that's saying something about a guy's ability. He's got an outstanding arm. He's got good legs. And the other thing, too, in regards to the coachability, they like his first step. They like his first step on the base pass. They like his first step on defense. So that's, you put them all together, and that's a guy who can be a super utility player.
Charlie Blackmon, the leadoff man, was 1 for 3 in the game. He had a double in the 4th inning, hanging on with the count of 1-2, facing Cody Hall. Houston, by the way, now has a 14-2 lead in Arizona. So Looks like they will stay a game ahead of the Angels, who won in Texas tonight for that second American League wild card, for the right to play, likely to play at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday in the one-game playoff. Two and two the count to Charlie Blackmon. And he struck it out. Cody Hall has struck out the first two hitters of the inning. 83 miles an hour with that one.
Well, that's a split. It's really a good strikeout pitch for both right-handers and left-handers. I mean, it's almost a forkball. It doesn't have as much rotation as you would normally have on a split-finger fastball, but not quite a knuckling type of forkball. It's kind of in between.
Reyes, shallow left center, and caught by DeAsa. So a strong inning for Cody Hall. Tomlinson, Duffy, and Posey coming up.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, look at AT&T Park. It has been all Rockies so far as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. 9-1. And that is the good ship Rhapsody from Sausalito. Just checking it out, coming into the Cove.
I think we should get not that boat, a much bigger. I want a much bigger boat.
I would take that one. That's a good one. How much bigger you want?
Well, that would be fine for, say, you and your wife. I'm talking the broadcaster's boat.
How about this one?
When we have a night game and then a day game the next day, like we have tonight, tomorrow, then we could just all go and spend the night on the boat, or the broadcaster's boat. That ball is hit deep by Tomlinson, but caught on the warning track out there in deep left center by Dickerson.
I like that. I like that. The broadcaster's boat. What would we name it?
Whatever sponsor would buy it for us. How about this?
Chico's Bell Bonds.
Whenever there's a pitching change, we'll show the boat, and across the side of the boat it'll say, when it's time for a change.
Yeah, that would work.
0-1 the count to Duffy. Duffy, the Willie Mac Award winner for 2015. That is just foul.
You guys got to make a play. You bring your glove, you'd have been a hero. All right, just take a look at the effort.
He would have had it with the glove.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he stayed down on it nice, watched it right into the wall.
Even if it was a hockey goaltender's glove.
Yeah.
Up the middle, base hit. It's a very poignant moment after the ceremony was all finished. Duffy had been congratulated by everybody. And his dad, who is an outstanding photographer and who's been doing some things photographically, he's gotten some great shots, not just of his son, but of other Giants as well. And Sports Illustrated likes him a lot, and they're going to put it something on Sports Illustrated online. Matt Duffy's dad. But his dad was on the field taking photos of the ceremony. And they had just a long embrace, father and son. And I think the dad, here it is.
Well, he couldn't be more proud.
Supposed to take a selfie here? You okay?
You okay, Dad?
Dad was clinging on a little too long there.
To the right side. Off the glove of Descalso. Buster Posey safe at first. Duffy over to second.
It'll be interesting to see how they rule this. Rare to see a ball get anywhere near the glove of Descalso and not get caught. He's got real good hands. And it's going to be an error on Descalso. He's thinking, now if I can get to this thing, I can get a pair. So the Giants have an opportunity.
Brandon Crawford comes up.
Still haven't gotten used to Daniel Descalso out of a Cardinal uniform. Looks strange to me.
I mean, he seemed like a Cardinal, and they would not have advanced to that League Championship Series in 2012 without him. He was great in the month of September and through the division series against the Nationals. Descalso, and that the young shortstop, Cosma, also was great. The two of them. Descalso, who is a Bay Area native. And he's a guy who can play all over the infield, and he's a left-handed hitter. Not that many middle infield types who bat left-handed. Brandon Crawford has singled and scored a run, flied out deep to left center.
He's the guy I think has had the best swings against Kendrick. In regards to balance, I mean, he's been on him all night long.
On the outside corner, strike two. Man, the Astros, they have really taken to Chase Field in Phoenix. Must remind them of their home ballpark where they have a fabulous record.
Well, what's the score now?
16-2 Houston in the top of the seventh, leading the Diamondbacks. One and two the count. 2 men on, 1 man out. Kendrick. And it's 2-2. Well, Crawford, a breakout year for power, far more homers than ever before, and we thought it would end up being more than where he is right now. He's at 20, which is excellent, but he's only hit 1 since August the 6th, nearly 2 months' time. Back to the screen, had a pretty good rip.
Yeah, again, good balance through the swing. Whatever speed Kendrick's throwing up there to Crawford, he's been on it.
Duffy at second, Posey at first, 1 out in the 6th. Struck him out.
That's strikeout number 5 for Kendrick.
2 down in the 6th, and here is Jarrett Parker, who has knocked in the Giants' only run of the night with a double down the right field line in the 2nd inning. He struck out looking his next time. Remember, 105 game tomorrow. Jake Peavy will get the start for the Giants, and there'll be ceremonies before the game honoring the great career of Tim Hudson. You see Matt Duffy's dad taking photos. His son at second base. And that's a dribbled foul off to the left. Brad Mangian was sitting down with him when we had a shot of him earlier down there. And Brad kind of set him up. There's Brad with the baseball cap on the right side of the picture. One of the top sports photographers in the country. And they kind of, his pictures were just so good that there's some kind of a deal with Sports Illustrated Online. So just keep an eye on Sports Illustrated Online. And a big web article with a lot of great photos. Off to the right, and the runners will advance. Matt Duffy over to third, and Posey over to second.
A little changeup that's sort of kicked away from Dustin Garneau. Just hits down there in the dirt between home plate and the catcher. Stayed down on him. Garneau's usually a pretty good ball blocker.
Now 2 men in scoring position for the Giants. Jarrett Parker, who's had a remarkable 3-week run. Remember, they just brought him up 3 weeks ago today, September the 11th. Bringing him back from the minors. And it's 2-1. He had been up for 9 at-bats earlier this year and had only 1 hit. Since September the 11th, since his return, he has had 14 hits in 34 at-bats. So he's hitting, what's that, 417. And all those home runs. And that's off the outside. 14 for 34, that's right. And he's had 6 homers and 14 RBIs in 34 at-bats, which is the remarkable thing. He's got that little kind of a Joe Morgan thing going with the left elbow, too.
Yeah, he's got a lot of movement. Joe Morgan used to take that back, the left arm as he hit left-handed, flap himself on the side, chicken wing it.
Changed up on a 3-1 count. 3-2.
You really can't sit on a fastball against Kendrick in any fastball count. I mean, he's just going to stay away from that. He'll pitch backward with the fastball. He'll use it to surprise you like he did with Crawford, the 2-2 count. Throw a lot of dookie at you and then all of a sudden zip you with a fastball up.
Runners at second and third, 2 down here in the 6th inning. 3-2 the count. Right there. Strike 3 call on the outside. The Giants do not score again. Gonzalez and Arenado, 2 sluggers coming up. Matt Duffy and his dad before the game. Dwayne Kuiper will return from the radio side when we come back.
Your local Toyota dealer through 6 full innings of play. Rockies 9 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. Giants 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. It has been all Rockies, all Kyle Kendrick, who's been strong through 6 innings. The big blow, Nolan Arenado's a home run in the 2nd and a 2-run double. That has been the big blow. Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. It is 9-1 Rockies, top of the 7th. Once again, here's Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, and it's Carlos Gonzalez who takes a pitch wide. There's Kevin Franson, who's now at first base. Arenado to follow. So I go over to the radio side.
Yes.
And who's sitting in the unoccupied chair, occupied by Jack Clark. So when it's all said and done in this game, it's Jack Clark 7, the Giants nothing. As this is drilled into center field. Parker back, and he's going to make the catch. Jack gave up 5 in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th.
Well, he is fun to talk baseball with, and be careful what you ask him, because he's going to give you the answer.
Well, Lee Jones, when Jack left, said to me, he said, you know what, he could do this. And I said to Lee, I said, well, he has. But he's also like gotten in trouble like 20 times too. So here's Arenado. And Arenado hits a high fly ball to right. 2 outs.
But Jack was that way as a player. And let's take a look at Nolan Arenado. 40 doubles, 40 home runs, 120 RBIs in a season before age 25. Well, how about Lou Gehrig, Chuck Klein, Hal Trosky, and Albert Pujols, who did it twice, and you put your name on that list? Gives you an idea how special his year has been. He has been spectacular. And on top of that, he's the best third baseman in the National League defensively.
So here's Dickerson. Dickerson hits a high foul out of play.
But, you know, in regards to Jack, he was that way as a player. I mean, he would not sugarcoat things. He would be one of the outspoken Giants players about how bad the conditions were at Candlestick. I mean, for the most part, that was our yard. We just kind of dealt with it. But, you know, he was not happy about that. He was not happy, and he still ticked off that trades weren't made that supported the team when you guys had it going, especially in 1982.
Well, plus Jack would sound off even if he was wrong.
Didn't care.
You know, no. And it was one of the reasons why Jack and Frank Robinson relationship was always a bit strained, to say the least. 1 ball and 1 strike. Never forget really not a whole lot going on this particular day, and there were 10 reporters around Jack. And that was a bit odd because there wasn't a lot going on. And Jim Davenport walked by me and said, "Can't wait to read the Chronicle tomorrow." Lo and behold, something had gone on that Jack didn't like. There's a swing and a miss, and Dickerson is retired. And that's the Giants' best inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up, 9-1 Colorado. Lead for Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. And Brooks Brown is the new pitcher for the Rockies.
36th game that he has come into, 1-3 with a 5.06 ERA. He's got a good fastball. It'll go low to mid-90s in velocity with big-time sink. He's a ground ball guy. Also has a slider and a changeup.
And he'll be facing Mac Williamson, who hit a very long triple in his last at bat. Problem was he got to third with nobody out, and he stayed at third. Swing and a miss on a pitch down low, 0-2. Kyle Parker is now in right field. He gets a feeling that the baseball gods are trying to trick us with these names tonight. Parker, Garneau, Morneau, Horno.
Easy. Yeah, as a matter of fact. Plus, as you see Brett Bochy starting to get loose down the Giants.
There's another one, another Bochy.
2 Bochys on the field.
Just a little low to Williamson. So the Rockies have a Kyle Parker in right. The Giants had a Jarrett Parker in right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Jarrett Parker in center. 2 Parkers.
Swing and a miss. So Williamson is gone. And that'll bring up Brown.
Against Brown.
It just baffles me that this is the one game where you wouldn't want to do the Harry Carey game.
No, we think that there should be one game a year that you could have some beers.
Yeah,
it would be the Harry Carey game. This would not be the one to do it.
This would not be the one. Brown out of play off of Brown. No balls and 1 strike. Is Garneau looking at Morneau to see that he's playing off the line at first? Or you could say it's Dustin checking out Justin. There's a pitch down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Parker's in right, and he's also in center. Bochy's at the top of the dugout steps, and he's in the bullpen getting loose. I mean, it's just one of those games.
One pitch. So Kurt Manwaring before the game in the Giants clubhouse, and I saw Trevor Brown grab onto Kurt Manwaring and give him the biggest hug you'd ever seen. It was almost like father-son. That's low, and then you realize that Kurt Manwaring had tutored a lot of these young catchers in the minor leagues, and Brown was one of them. He said, he looked him right in the eye, Manwaring. He said, "Congratulations, you have earned this." Swinging a foul, 3-2. He also did tell a couple of stories about having to catch you guys. And he did say you were the worst.
You know, I was really, I preferred Bob Brenly, and when somebody else caught me, it was just, you know, I was out of sorts.
He said he walked out to the mound after you get the signs again, and you said to him, "Now you got him?" And Manwaring looked you in the eye and he said, "Yes, I do." And he turned around and he said to himself, "I have no idea what the signs are now." And he said, "And I did not have the nerve to go back out and ask again, so I just was putting them down." He laughed, though. He said he learned the hard way and he learned the fast way.
Well, he won our staff over, and we had a bunch of old pitchers, and he would go on to be a Gold Glove catcher.
Foul back.
And who better to teach the catchers in your minor league system than a Giants product that had a nice career at the big league level, was a Gold Glover. had really basically done it all.
Well, the guy at the plate acknowledged that today with a big, long hug. 3-2. And Brown's going to stay alive off of Brown. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Diaza is on deck.
You know, the thing you look at when you see old players is what kind of shape they're in, how they're doing, how they're walking, how they're moving. And they all look pretty good.
Some better than others. There's a ground ball foul. I think Jack's lying about his age, though. He said on there, he said, you know, look, he said, I'm going to be 60. I was like, Jack? No, he said 60. So then I realized that was probably about right.
Well, we got drafted the same year, 1973.
Popped up. So he got drafted out of high school. You got drafted out of college. That's about a 4-year difference.
So I called my coach up at Cal Poly and said I was going to sign. I had a year of eligibility left at Poly. I forfeited that, signed it for my junior year. And he said, well, will you do me a favor? Will you call this guy at Gladstone High School? He's a pitcher. Giants drafted him. And just kind of give him a sales pitch for Cal Poly. So I did.
On the ground to short for Reyes. 2 outs.
And that guy turned out to be Jack Clark. I was extolling the virtues of an education at Cal Poly. He goes, nah, you know, I think I'm going to sign. So now 4 years later, I'm coming in with the Cubs to play the Giants at Candlestick. And when the game's over, I see Jack Clark driving out of the parking lot in a baby blue Rolls Royce. And I stopped him. I said, see, if you listen to me, you'd be teaching PE in Bakersfield School District right now.
Might have been a closer. So here's Diaza. And Diaza wraps this one to Arenado, and that's going to end the inning. Through 7 here at AT&T Park, it is all Rockies.
He made the right decision.
Start 12:05, so innings get here like 11:15. Also, it's the day that the Giants are going to honor Jeremy Affeldt, and during that Fan Appreciation Day, you have an opportunity to win some special prizes like tickets on Virgin America, Levi's a $501 gift certificate, Chevron gas, and much more. And one lucky fan, by the way, is going to win the grand prize, a 2016 Toyota Tacoma SR5 V6 double cab. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Brett Bochy, the new pitcher now for the Giants, has really had a couple of nice outings since he's coming into this one.
Here he faces Justin Morneau, and Morneau takes a strike. This is the 8th inning. On the ground, Franson on the backhand as he goes down to a knee. Nice play, 1 out. Check in with Amy G. Amy, what do you got?
Well, Dwayne, ask and you shall receive. It's time for our fan photo contest. It is sponsored by T-Mobile. And yesterday I said, hey, send in some pictures of Dwayne and Mike. So fans did. Check this one out. Fan Fest with my fellow gamer babes and Kruk and Kipe. Apparently, Ryan Vogelsong is bunched in with the gamer babes. What do you got? We've only got 2 games left. We love the photos. Tweet us and then hashtag CSNBA Data Strong Fan. You guys look really good in that photo. Dwayne.
Here's a drive into center field. Parker broke in, but now he goes back. That was Fan Fest 2014.
Yeah, that was fun. Bochy in Sacramento this year, 6-1 with a 2.95 ERA. He really earned the right to be here, and it was kind of an up and down year for him. They took him off the 40-man roster early in the year. He earned his way back on, and here he is back in the big leagues. Out of the University of Kansas.
So here's Descalzo. 0 for 3.
Matt Duffy putting his name up on the plaque in the media level where all the press sits during the game. And
that's been up there for 3 days. Nobody noticed it.
35th year. Good hard slider from Bochy. Bochy out of Kansas, played for Rich Price.
Some of the winners, including my partner.
Very proud of that.
David Bell. Swing and a miss. Side retired. Nice inning for Brett Bochy. Bottom of the 9th coming up, or 8th.
Highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game.
That's right. Our fans still believe in 9-1 Colorado. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Simon Castro, the new pitchers now for the Colorado Rockies. 11th time that he's come in. He's got a low to mid-90s fastball. Hard slider and a changeup. Strikeout an inning guy. Good stuff.
Here's Jackson Williams pinch hitting. And a base hit down the left field line for Jackson Williams. And it rolls into the corner. And Jackson Williams with a base hit. How about that?
Get the batting average going. Not a bit. Just the first pitch, get it in, fastball right at the belt. And Williams looking for something up and away. Gets exactly that and does something with it.
Not to be confused with Williamson.
Right. Williamson. This is getting confusing.
Here's Tomlin's son. Down low, Tomlinson, 1 for 3. There's Rafael Inoa at third. And Ben Polson is at first. And a breaking ball for a strike.
Tomlinson, you go, kid. They have all their Tomlinson glasses on. Think they're having fun?
I think those guys started out about 6 this morning playing golf.
Yep.
Played 36 holes, had a few beers, and ended up here. That'll be a 1-3 putout as Castro throws out Tomlinson.
Hey, I like the effort, though.
Yeah. The Astros, by the way, are leading the Rockies, or the D-backs, 21-2.
Wow.
Here's Duffy. Duffy singled in the 6th inning. He's got that average at 298. And he takes a low, 1 ball and no strikes.
3 touchdowns and a safety. J.J. Watt, safety in the end zone. Good play.
Yep. Carson Palmer cannot get out of the end zone. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tom Duffy. Boy, he was proud. He had a great moment. John was talking about it in the 5th inning when Matt Duffy received the Willie Mac Award after it was all over. He walked over to his dad. His dad gave him a hug, and he hung on. You talk about proud of your kid. Wow. So Jordan Baker, first base umpire, says Duffy's went around.
Yeah. Don't tick off the old man now. One and 2. Out of play.
Got a man making a play. That's right. Knows exactly what to do with it.
One ball, 2 strikes. Down low. Yep, there's the trophy that they don't hand out anymore. This is 1985. Joe Arengo on the right.
Joe Arengo.
I've seen that trophy in your house, maybe like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it lasted about 3 weeks.
Well, those wiffle ball games in your house got to be dangerous.
Well, look, they have little bats there that caught the imagination of my boys, and that was about all she took.
Tap to short for Reyes, who throws out Duffy. Well, you conducted this, Mike, and really was another great ceremony put on by the Giants.
Willie Mac announced the winner, and Matt Duffy really did a nice job. His speech was good.
Well thought out. Here's the hug that John and you were talking about.
We're supposed to take a picture? We're supposed to take a selfie here?
So here's Kevin Frandsen. Frandsen takes high. Crawford on deck. 2 outs. Jackson Williams at second. And it's down low to Frandsen. It's 3-0. And the walk.
Now that is the one thing that Simon Castro has to improve upon, and that's his command. He's got a good arm. He's got some funkiness in his delivery. He's kind of spooky because every once in a while he'll airmail you and not know where one's going. That's it.
That walk got him out of the game. So we got a lefty coming in. It's 9-1, and we'll be back. The lefty, Jason Gurka.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers for Jason Gurka. No record yet, 9.82 ERA. Hey, strikeout an inning, that's the good news. The bad news, 15 hits and 7 1/3. He's got good stuff. Low to mid-90s with the fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Gurka, 15th round pick by the Orioles in 2008. And Rockies got him as a minor league free agent.
So Crawford waits, and the pitch. Jeremy Affield breaking ball. No balls in 1 strike.
That's a selfie right there. That is a nice, warm selfie.
Outside and known. Nice block. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're staying to the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kid me? It's a family outing Friday night.
They'll both be asleep by the Bay Bridge.
Well, you might include Mom in that list, too.
Swinging a foul back. Either that or Mom's going to be driving and Dad's going to be out. Oh, Dad brought the glove. Here, you want some of this? Hey, take one of these.
Good looking bunch.
Oh, this is rolled foul. Yep, Dad's got his hands full here.
Yep. I think he met his match, if you want to know the truth.
What do you want?
We know who the pistol is in that family.
Yep.
Yep. that bunch does not lack personality.
Here's the 1-2 to Crawford, and it's outside, 2-2. Now look over there, and yeah, and then you look over there, and we'll watch the game.
And that's the cotton candy guy over there. Look at the colors, amazing.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 3-2.
And that's the age where, I mean, you really are amazed at everything in the ballpark.
Yeah, you can point to just about anything, and you're going to get their attention for a little while. Three and two. Runners will take off. Hit well to left. On the move, Dickerson. It is off the bottom of the wall, and 2 runs are going to score. And Crawford's got a double and 2 RBIs. Well, the Gurkha thing didn't work.
It did not. Left-handed specialist just gave it up. 3-2 challenge. He's got to come in with a fastball. He has to throw a strike, and Crawford backspins it right off the Woody. Puts a ding in the fender. And watch the reaction. Oh, yeah. Where is it? It's out there someplace. And a career offensive year for Brandon Crawford. He just tacks on 2 more RBIs. That's 83 on the year.
Here's Parker. Swing and a miss. No balls in 1 strike.
He just set him up with that swing.
That's what Garneau is going out there to ask him. Are you setting him up with that swing? No balls and 1 strike. One pitch. Here it is. On the ground to second. And that will end the inning. Giants score twice. We will head to the 9th. Very nicely done. The archives. Giants postgame live right here on CSN Bay Area. Mindy Bach will be your host. Alex Pavlovich, he's going to have wonderful postgame notes. You get updates on the 49ers and the Raiders and one-on-one with Luke Walton. It's 9-3 Colorado. And Michael Broadway is on to pitch. Jackson Williams is on to catch.
Take a look at the numbers for Mike Broadway. It's the 20th time he's come in. 13 strikeouts in 16 innings. Hard thrower. You're going to see mid to high 90s. Lately more mids than highs. Hard slider, and he's got a changeup. A split finger changeup.
Here he's facing Parker. Kyle Parker, and look out. So it'll be Parker, and then Blackman, and then Reyes. Foul off of Jackson Williams. There's Williams. Broadway taking his time.
He's got his routine. He's going to stay with it.
1 and 2.
Hey, that routine got him here to the big leagues. It's not about to change now. And it really is a routine. They'll do the same thing every time. Go down, focus on a small little pebble, soft diet. Now all of a sudden you come up, pick up your target. Come say you just get in your own world.
Kevin Franson in foul territory. 1 out.
But remember the road that he took. As hard as he throws, I mean, he literally throws high 90s and occasionally 100. We've seen it this year. 10 years it took him to get to the big leagues with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So you say, well, what took him so long? Well, command, being able to count on the stuff, get it in the strike zone. And what he has evolved into is a very compact big man who is very strict to his routine before every pitch.
So there's Blackman, and he swings and misses. No balls and a strike with Jose Reyes to follow. Big breaking ball that just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I don't think it missed. He just didn't get it. See, that's why I applaud the big league umpires. I do. Because if a score gets to a certain score, I mean, if I was an umpire, it would be everything that doesn't bounce as a strike. Like in Arizona tonight, Houston's beating the Astros, or Houston's beating the Diamondbacks 21-3. If I'm the umpire at home plate, if it doesn't bounce, it's a strike.
Well, there should be no walks at all after a deficit of 10 runs.
I agree.
If you walk, you're an out. You're out. That's what you get punished if you walk.
Ball 4, you're out.
That's why you earn your first base. If you, it means you swinging at bad pitches, you're out. You're fine.
Yeah, that's exactly. But umpires now, they get a report card after every game on every pitch that was thrown. They have a lasered strike zone that will give them an accurate depiction of what their strike zone was that night, and then they get a score. And if you get like 96%, that's a bad score.
Not in our lifetime, but 25 years maybe. Robots.
Robot, no umpires, just a robotic strike zone?
Robots.
What, playing the game?
No, umpire.
Oh, well.
Hit on the ground. And Tomlinson to Franson.
They might have that technology now.
And then try to stare down one of those guys.
Unless they put a stare down chip in it.
So Santiago Casillas coming in. And it's 9-3. We'll be back. We'll start at 12:30, and you can watch it right here on CSN Bay Area. That'll be game 2 of the series, and it is the home of the authentic Giants fan, CSN. So here's Casilla to face Reyes. A swing and a miss, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Numbers for Casilla as he comes into his 66 game 4-2 with 37 saves, 2.84 ERA. He's had a very nice year. Over a strikeout an inning.
Ball back. 0-2. Casilla replacing Broadway, who got the first 2 outs. 1-2. Hit well out into Triple's alley, but there is Williamson, and that's going to end the inning. So, bottom of the 9th coming up, 9-3 Colorado.
October 10th for the home opener against the Ducks. The home of the authentic Sharks fan is CSN California. 7:30 game pregame live this Saturday, October 10th. Check it out. Go Sharks.
Yes, indeed. Go Sharks. We're ready.
New pitcher now for the Colorado Rockies is going to be their closer, John Axford. 59th time he's come into a game. He's got 25 saves on the year, 59 strikeouts in 53 2/3 innings. Hard thrower, mid to high 90s. He's got a high 3/4 release, a pretty straight fastball, but it gets on you quick and a real good over the top curveball. 12-6 break, and he's also got a slider.
And it'll be Mac Williamson who's going to lead things off. And the pitch, and it's down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Williamson 1 for 3, tripled in the 5th. It's a little pop up to right, and Descalzo is going to track it down. 1 out.
Get out of my kitchen.
Well, here's Nick Noonan. So Noonan's coming up. Noonan almost had a splash the other day here at AT&T Park.
First big league home run. That was pretty cool.
Very cool. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
So you hit one?
Yeah,
you go up there and start swinging for another one.
Well, you got the fever. You got the home run fever. Oh, and 2. Very high. This was the home run. Just barely missed going in the water.
I mean, right to the back wall. I mean, another foot, and he's got himself a splash hit. There has not been a splash hit this year for the Giants, and that's never happened. The splash hits have been stuck on 68.
2-2 pitch. Here it is. He bounced it.
That's a hard curveball.
Three and 2.
Yeah, they're still waiting for a little McCovey Cove magic.
Got him. So here's Diaza. Pretty good challenge right there.
Yeah, well, Axford has got a pretty good fastball to challenge with.
So here's Diaza. 0 for 1, drew a walk in the 5th. Two more days for Jeremy Affeldt before he shuts her down. 2 more days for Tim Hudson.
Well, the next couple of days are going to be all about those guys. Tomorrow it's Tim Hudson Day, and Jeremy Affeldt will be celebrated on Sunday.
Pitch is just a little high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, I can't remember the last time they had a day for a guy who spent most of his career in the bullpen. But he has been that special since putting on a Giants uniform. One of the greatest postseason pitchers in history.
1 and 2. In history. Not in a decade. In history.
In history.
One-two pitch. And that hit the bag. So Diaz is aboard. And the Giants have life. And it's going to get Jackson Williams another shot.
Well, he's got the fever too. Had a double in his last at bat. His first hit of the year.
Yeah, came in as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning and then stayed in the game. And that pitch is high. That's 96, so Axford's running it up there. Axford spring training got off to a rough start. Remember, his little boy got bit by a rattlesnake.
Twice. They had a heck of a time. He's doing fine.
It's pretty amazing when you think about all the years, all the ball players that have been going to spring training, all the ball players that live in the Phoenix and Tucson area. And maybe it's happened, but none that we've ever known of. One ball and 1 strike. In the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and 1 strike.
Axford going through his routine, very deliberate, in no hurry. In his mind, it's a 1-run ball game. He's protecting a save. You have to get in your zone.
So here's Tomlinson. They're still hanging in there.
Oh, they're not leaving. Are you kidding me?
Dad just finished off the energy drink for the drive home.
Yep, not a problem. Heading back to Sacramento.
Mom's thinking about what time do we have to get up tomorrow?
That's right.
I think they get up when that little one gets up.
Yeah. Be around 6:30.
Foul down the right field line.
But they have no problem with that because she's sleeping through the night now. Oh, stay up.
Easy,
we got
big
money
fella.
on you.
Keep your pants on.
Whoa, get that boiler back in the stands.
On, let's go.
There you go.
Atta babe. That was athletic.
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
After that,
our bowl dude, Hitoshi Kawamata, he had to shed a little mercy on this guy. So nice going, Hitoshi.
There's Duffy on deck. One ball and 1 strike.
Well, the Rockies are not that far away from cranking up the bullpen. And this is their closer, Axford. Walt Weiss, skipper, thinking about it. Now that's a rally cap and a half.
2 balls and a strike. Out of play, 2-2. Piazza and Williams are your base runners. Axford got 2 outs. You got Williamson and Noonan. Down the right field line, out of play. Oh yeah, this guy's ready.
Uh-oh. Hey, easy now.
Got thievery.
She was sneaky.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's the ball game. So it took Axford 23 pitches to close it out, but the Rockies do indeed do that. And game 1 of this 3-game series, it goes to the Rockies, and this one, Mike, was pretty much over early.
Well, really, and it was just a swinging bunt that opened up the floodgates in the 3rd inning against Chris Heston. It would go on to be a 5-run inning, and it kind of made his night ugly. But, hey, strap it on tomorrow and go get him. It'll be Tim Hudson Day.
And Jake Peavy will be on the mound. All right, final score, Rockies 9, Giants 3. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap. That's going to start right now.